I wanted to talk to you first and foremost about this Hunter Biden issue. Merrick Garland getting pressure to appoint a special counsel. Should he?
I think the point has come where he has to. I mean, that we're beyond their smoke. We know that there are legitimate concerns, whether it's the Foreign Agents Registration Act, whether it's tax issues, whether it is just, the general smell of corruption that is beyond, Merrick Garland and the apparatus of the Department of Justice. If you're going to appoint special counsels where there's no predication, like we had in the Russia collusion hoax, if you're going to appoint it in, other instances, I think this is a perfect example in a place where they need to appoint a special counsel.
We all know how quickly Jeff Sessions appointed a special counsel when the media just started to talk about Russia.
Right.
We're well past that point. We have documents before our very eyes on a daily basis. Why do you think he refuses to step aside and put
because every attorney general knows that once you appoint a special counsel, it's this thing that's bolted on the side of the Department of Justice that you have no control over, but have to fund, and it dominates really everything you do. I saw that when I took over for General Sessions in the middle of the Russian investigation. You could just feel, how much attention was in that. Now, obviously, this has been treated very different by media, and so I'm not sure it will have the same bombshell after bombshell. It proves to be all false. But in this case, I think that if we're following the Department of Justice regulations, I cannot see a way where there is not a conflict, because the president's son is the target of an investigation, and so the Department of Justice and the Attorney General would have, it seems to me, an appearance of a conflict. But I would love to see their analysis. I know when I went through the same analysis, I produced the entire legal document that showed, how the logic and reason. But this administration doesn't follow the same rules, and quite frankly, it's a shame that the careers won't hold them to the same accountability that they did us.
And it seems to be some problems with the Department of Justice, also in the FBI. We could talk about this Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping case. It ended in 2 acquittals, a hung jury. During the course of the trial, the judge seemed to go against the defense in every single ruling, but yet here we are.
Yeah.
Also, we have a January 6th defendant acquitted this week. The FBI has got some cleaning up to do.
It does, and the Department of Justice. I mean, obviously, if you're winning all your cases, you're not being aggressive enough in your prosecution. So you want some ability for the American people as juries to decide kind of where that line is. But to your point, you string a few of these together, and you're starting to wonder, are they being overly aggressive? Because in every case, it has a political smell to it. And so it's only those cases that they're losing. They're not losing the, drug import cases. They're not losing the cases that are the bread and butter. It's these things where they're trying to create a political narrative or feed into a political narrative and do these cases, and then all of a sudden, the evidence is very weak and can't even convince a jury.
And we're not saying there's a direct connection between the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping case and January 6th. But if you want to know if they can trust their FBI, and they should be able to trust their FBI.
They should, but remember that you cannot extricate that from the context of the narrative coming out of the whole homegrown terrorist, domestic terrorist narrative that
pushing that as they are Trump supporters, and that's why you shouldn't know.
Yes, exactly.
That's why that election still stings for so many people, all those issues holding. Well, we're in North Carolina. Last time I saw you at one of these things, we were in Iowa. Tell us about the vibe here. How are you liking it?
Well, it's amazing. We came in just this afternoon. These things are electric. You can feel it as soon as you get into the venue. And, I think President Trump loves seeing his supporters, loves sharing what's on his mind. And I think, the people that support him, including myself, love to hear how he processes a lot of these issues. And so, these are always celebrations. Whether you got the merchandise, you got the folks that are just enthusiastic. So it's always a lot of fun.
And I was telling them, Jen and Rob, back in the studio, that you can feel it though with people. There's more kind of tension, more angst. The higher the gas prices get, the worse inflation gets. They're begging for something different. The folks here. I'm sure you can feel that too. But